Hi, I'm Lani Leuthvilay, and I'm head of product marketing at PlainID. I originally started my career in sustainable urban development and wanted to bring more green design to US cities to help mitigate stormwater impacts and create environments that had more walkability. So I was drawn to sustainable urban development because it met my needs for what I wanted out of a career, to be creative, to be able to problem solve, and have the ability to address a civic need. I've always been interested in tech. Before sustainable development, my tech career had always been more of a side hustle. I would work as IT support at my uni or do ghostwriting tech blogs as a side job when I was doing projects around, land planning and things like that. What I noticed around the 2014, 2015 time was that power grids or attacks on a power grid started to make headlines, whether it was in the US or in Eastern Europe. There were attacks on critical infrastructure that I thought was going to impact everyone globally, not just with these specific cities. Because critical infrastructure typically lags behind a piece of technology, I wanted to be able to be involved in an industry that would help businesses and companies stay ahead of the game as to not put people in a vulnerable position. So I made the transition to cybersecurity within a few steps, actually. So I made people in my network aware that I was interested in tech and that it was something that I was hoping to transition my career into. I started to pick up blogging projects, copywriting projects that friends had with their startups. And from there, I was able to build out a portfolio that helped me get a consulting gig at ForgeRock, an identity company. And ultimately, that evolved into a full-time role. I think the biggest challenge in changing careers, especially from something like sustainable design to tech and more specifically cybersecurity, is being able to meet the expectations of the companies that you want to work with. It's hard to show or prove that your skill set and your experience is enough to help you get started and running in a career that ultimately, in order to be an expert in or for any industry, would require decades. My advice for people who want to move to another industry is don't be afraid to translate your skills. The soft skills you've gained in your previous career, or careers for that matter, applies to any industry. So you don't have to feel like you're limited to just one industry. If you're always willing to learn, that will always create new opportunities for you. I mean, even experts who've been in their line of business or industry for 10, 20, 30 years are constantly learning. So you won't be the only one. And if anything, your newness will bring a refreshing look to the space, to your team, to the company that you want to be a part of.